Hi. Some of you may have seen or be familiar with the videos I made with my friend Joan and her daughter Susan. I think there were 3 of them on my YouTube channel. Well, sadly, I got a message just a couple of months ago with the news that Joan had contracted cancer in both her lungs and her kidneys, and the prognosis was not good. So I drove to the hospital to be with her for a while, and in doing so, what I noticed was everything that there was in her room to drink was sugared. Things that you wouldn't think would bother anybody, but I noticed that shortly after she drank some apple juice, she started complaining to me of the pain that was running down in her arm and shoulder, and she constantly kept pushing the more medication button, and it really upset me, and I promised her I'd try and figure out what it was that was causing it. She never smoked, she never drank, she never did any of those things, and she'd already gone through maybe 10 or 15 years ago a mastectomy that did not please her in the least. I know that for myself, I've always had problems with food allergies, and so I had pretty much eliminated my intake of, we'll call it simple sugar, you know, sugar that you find in soft drinks like Coke and Pepsi and so on, but never really dawned on me that it was also in the apple juice, the orange juice, and all of these other things. Recently, I've been buying pH strips, all kinds of brands of pH strips. Some of them go from 1 to 14, as this one does. This one as well goes from 1 to 14. They're all kinds of prices. This one is just a sort of sample pack. This one only goes 5.5 to 8 for these. It really doesn't matter what brand of test strips you use. What matters is we all need to be aware of pH and how pH affects us. pH is just as important, as far as I'm concerned, as 98.6 is what your temperature is supposed to be. The human body is supposed to be at least 7 to be healthy and to keep replenishing your cells, which is all we are, is a mass of cells. I read someplace that we've got a couple of trillion cells that are constantly living and dying as we live and breathe. So what I want to show you today is I'm going to test a bunch of different beverages, a bunch of different sweeteners. A lot of people think that it's the sugar and they're worried about fat, but what worries me is, in terms of sugar, is the acid. All of these things have a lot of acid, and we're supposed to be more alkaline. There's really nothing around that you can readily have available to you that's alkaline. Now, water is supposed to be neutral, but most of the bottled water, for example, or even tap water that I've tested, turns out to be slightly acidic. So the more acidic you are, the more problems you're going to have. So my whole objective is to raise my pH so that I won't be in the low numbers in the pH range. I'll be at least 7, and if I can go above 7, great. If not, that's fine. Because the one thing that I've discovered in doing what I've been doing is that I really haven't been sick in at least 35 years. I just monitor the food that I put in, and things that bother me, I don't eat them anymore. I just eliminate. I'll eat the same thing for breakfast every day. I'll eat similar sorts of things for dinners every day. But I just make sure that whatever I eat today, I want to make sure I don't eat anything that will prevent me from getting all of that waste out of my body by tomorrow. Because I don't carry any excess baggage with me. That's all there is to it. So today what I'm going to do is show you how all of these different beverages and sweeteners, where they all stand as far as your pH is concerned. Because the minute you put that into your mouth, it's triggering your pH. It's affecting the pH of your body. So remember, the human body is supposed to be slightly above 7 pH. Good pure water is supposed to be roughly 7 pH. So I'll be right back.